Hello there, boys and girls. Welcome back for another math lesson. Today we're going to continue to explore graphs, and today we're going to learn about tally marks and creating tally charts to help display information. Let's get started. Our words to know.
Tally marks. Girl.
Now, tally marks should not look so unfamiliar to you guys because we use tally marks in our own classroom for our bathroom sign out.
Let's look at the tally marks and count them.
So each tally mark that you make, which is just a straight line, is going to count as one piece of information. So count them with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
How many tally marks are there? There are 3 tally marks. Each tally mark stands for one piece of information. Look at these tally marks.
So now if you remember Miss Evaristo's little trick when it comes to tally marks is we can group them in groups of 5 because it makes it easier to skip count by 5s than counting by 1s. But our little saying that I used to tell you in the classroom is once you get to that number 5, we close that gate.
Count the tally marks by 5s.
Count out loud.
5, 10, 15, 20. How many tally marks are there?
In all, there are 20.
There are 20. If the tally marks stand for red objects in a classroom, how many red objects were found?
Again, how many tally marks are here in all?
20 red objects were found. So, each group of 5 tally marks stands for 5 pieces of information. How many red letters do you see in mathematics?
So looking at this word right here, let's count out only the red letters. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There are 5 red letters. Make tally marks to show how many letters are red.
So again, you would make your straight marks down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then close the gate at 5.
How many tally marks do you see? There are 5 tally marks. How were the tally marks made? They were made with 4 straight lines and 1 line across.
That's what we like to call close the gate.
Keeping a tally makes it easy to count the data. Count the tally marks by 5s.
We're going to do the 5s first. So if we skip count, we have, count with me, 5, 10.
5, 10.
Now we need to add in our 1s.
Then count on by 1s.
So we were at 10. Let's count on from 10.
11, 12, 13. How many tally marks are in the tally?
In all, there are a total of...
There are 13. Now you know how to use tally marks to count data.
All right, now we're going to do a couple more practice problems together. Let's get started. Reviewing our vocabulary. Our vocabulary that we've seen in every lesson is that word data or data, depending on how you pronounce it. And it's just the information that you are collecting. And we've learned now today that with that information we collect, we can use something called tally marks. Tally marks are marks that keep track of data. So as you see here, whatever the information they were collecting, they marked 3 cats and 2 dogs. We've also learned that tally marks can be grouped and counted by 5s, just to make it easier to get your total answer. So looking here, if we skip count by 5, how many tally marks are here, boys and girls? If we skip count by 5, we have 5 and 10. Let's go through some practice problems. All right, so it says to make tally marks to show how many socks of each color there are, then write each total. So the green is already done for us. If you're looking over here at all of these socks and we focus on the green and we count them out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is a total of 6 green socks, and they represented that information by putting it in tally marks. And we have our group of 5 and then one more to show a total of 6. We are going to do the same for the orange and the blue. Let's start with the orange socks. Let's count them out first. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 orange socks, so let's mark that with some tally marks. Count with me to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we close the gate at 5. So the total of orange socks is 5. Now let's go over and do the same for the blue socks to collect all of our data. So let's begin counting. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 socks that we collected. So let's represent that with tally marks. Let's begin. Count with me. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the gate at 5. Keep going. 6, 7, 8, 9. Close the gate at 10. Keep going. 11, 12, 13 blue socks. So we have a total of 13. Now that we have all of our information gathered, let's go to our questions to see what we can find. Let's take a look at question number 2. It says, which color has the most? Think about what that word means. Most, biggest, greatest. So looking at our tally chart that we have here, which sock is the most, boys and girls? Shout it out. And we see that the number 13 is the biggest, so we have the most blue socks. Question number 3, how many more blue socks than orange socks are there? There's those key words that we have in the beginning, how many more? So you should already be thinking, I'm comparing, and I am comparing the blue socks to the orange socks. So what we've learned throughout this chapter is when we compare two items, all we need to do is subtract, always starting with the larger number. So we know that the blue socks is our largest. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to write this small so that we can see. We have 13 blue socks, and all we need to do is compare that to the orange. And let's look back at our tally chart. The orange socks, there is a total of 5. So I'm going to do 13 minus 5. I want you to take a minute to think about your strategies and subtract 13 minus 5 and figure out how many more blue socks there are. When you do 13 minus 5, you should get an answer of 8. So there are 8 more blue socks than there are orange socks. Question number 4, how many green and orange socks are there in all? All right, so you should be thinking, I heard some clue words in that question, in all being the most important. It wants to know in all, that means I need to put together, that means I need to add. So I'm going to be adding, it wants us to combine the green and the orange socks. So I'm going to add those two together. Let's look back up at our tally chart to get our numbers. Let's look at the green first. The green, there is a total of 6. So I'm going to write down that number first. 6 green socks, and I want to add that to the orange socks so I can find out how many are in all. The orange socks, looking back up at my tally chart, there are 5. So what I need to do is add 6 plus 5 to get my answer for how many in all. Take a minute to use your strategies. 6 plus 5. If you also want, boys and girls, you can use your tally charts to help you. If you're really good at skip counting by 5s, and I want to put the green and orange socks together, all I need to do is combine them. So I have a group of 5 here and another group of 5 in the orange. If we skip count 5, 10, and then one more, we'll get our answer of 6 plus 5, which is 11. So using your graph can be very helpful. Working through a couple more problems, let's take a look at these word problems that we have. Number 8, it says Beth wants to know how many of each color cap she and her brother have. Help her by making a tally for the picture. So here's our tally chart that we have over here. We're going to make some tally marks to collect all of our information. So let's start with the blue, since that's our first category here. Looking only at the blue caps, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 blue caps, so we need to put that in tally marks. Let's do it. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, close the gate. 5, keep going. 6, 7, 8, 9, close the gate. 10, 11, 12. So we have a total of 12 blue caps. Now let's go over to the green, looking only at the green caps. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's put that in tally marks. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the gate at 5. So we have a total of 5 green caps. Now the last section is the purple caps. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Let's put that in tally marks. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. So we have a total of 3 purple caps. Now let's move on to question number 9. It says, which color cap do they have the least of? Key word in that problem is the word least. When you think least, you think the fewest, the smallest number of caps. So look at our tally chart and find which number of caps is the least, the smallest, and you'll see that that is the purple caps of only 3. Take a look at number 10. It says, how many more blue caps than green caps are there? Those key words one more time. How many more? That means I'm comparing, and I am comparing the blue caps to the green caps. So let's look back at our information in our tally chart, and let's gather our information to solve this problem. I'm comparing the blue caps and the green caps. Well, we always start with our bigger number, and if I'm looking only at the blue and the green, I'm comparing 12 and 5. 12 is larger, so I'm going to write that number first, and all I need to do to compare them is subtract. So I'm going to do 12 minus the green caps, which is 5. So 12 minus 5, start thinking, boys and girls, use your strategies. 12 minus 5, take a minute to solve that subtraction sentence. And when you do that, 12 minus 5, you should get an answer of 7. So there are 7 more blue caps than there are green. And the last question is, how many more blue caps than purple caps? So again, we have those key words in the beginning. So I'm comparing, and I am comparing the blue caps and the purple caps. Let's look back up at our graph and collect our information. For blue caps, we have a total of 12. So I'm going to write that number down first, and I'm comparing it to the purple caps. The purple caps is, looking back at the chart, 3. So all I need to do is subtract to compare them and find the difference. Take a minute now to solve that problem. 12 minus 3. Use your subtraction strategies. 12 minus 3. Count backwards from 12. And when you do that, you will get your answer of 9. There are 9 more blue caps than there are purple. And that is our practice for today. Don't forget to rewatch that brain pop you watched yesterday. I know that yesterday they combined the bar graphs and the tally charts together, but I do want you to rewatch it so that you can focus today on the tally charts and collecting information that way. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I miss you all so much. I will see you next time.